Hello there everyone and welcome back to Star Fox Command. Today we'll be going through Sector Z. We meet again. Or Sector Z. Anyway, here's where we get to meet Crystal. Crystal has no last name, however, so we won't have to know anything about her as far as her last name, like Crystal Fox or everything. We can assume that she's a fox because her and Fox are like, you know, they look the same. And they supposedly have a son. But other than that, I can't really say much. And when I say they look like the same, that's actually quite weird for me to say because that actually has racial humor in it when we really think about it. One thing I never liked about Crystal was her art. One thing about her art is that it's very seductressy, should I say. In the R-Wingpedia, she's described as a vixen, and the most recently recruited member of the Star Fox team. She serves as Fox's McCloud's main love interest, although Panther seems to be infatuated with her, and made her first appearance in the series in Star Fox Adventures. Anyway, one of the first images you see on the R-Wingpedia, when you go to see that, or read that if you wanted to go read that, is actually Crystal laying on a chair with her legs up. It's really weird, and I'm not a furry, so I'm not into the whole female thing with those type of females. I mean, as far as this area, Sector Z is where we can see that we get to see the asteroid belts, or the asteroids. The asteroids actually effectively changes the way your ship runs. When you move through asteroids on the overworld field, it messes up your drawings. So if you saw my drawing messing up, it's not because I just retarded out and just like start drawing all over the place. No, that's just the way the game rolls. Ugh, woo. Microphone's screwing up. As far as this mission itself, it's pretty simple. It's a pretty easy mission. I enjoy it. I think it's a good mission. It doesn't really invoke any real need to say that the game any type of difficulty that stays with the Fox and Crystal storyline. But as far as this mission, it gives you a good bit of challenge if you're not doing it wrong. It doesn't have too many it's not too long either. Missile down, and I believe we'll hear Falco's music this time. I'm sure of it this time. I'm pretty sure. And now we're gonna play as Slippy Toad in this mission. I still like how if the fighters come near each other, they'll say, "Hey, I'm coming in to help you out." It would have been more. One thing that would have benefited it actually would have been instead of you choose the one that you play as, and then the other one comes in. If you spend like maybe 30 seconds in the mission, that way they could help you out, literally help you out, instead of just being there and like skipping out on the attack. Been an interesting mechanic. Because if you remember in Command 64, that happened with some of the enemies, with some of the missions, where if you met Cat Monroe in one of the missions, then she would appear in the next one, or if you saw Bill, he would appear in the next one, depending on whether you got the better or the best of the two endings to that mission. So all these little mollusk-type enemies, they're not that hard to fight, but they are annoying. The fact that they are shielded throughout most of the fight, you can only hit them on one specific point. However, since Slippy has plasma bullets, he makes quick work of them. Now let's take down this surface base. Let's go. Alright, most of these ones where you have like 10 or more enemies, they're usually just scrambling ones, which makes them I would have loved to have actually seen more dog fighting, like the ones when you're fighting actual other planes, like you do with Star Wolf. Command, since it's non-canon, I don't know if I don't remember if the creator said or not if it's non-canon before or after the game came out, but I'm assuming after, because why would you release a non-canon game anyway, just for the heck of it? But one thing I would have liked to have seen were different fighter pilots that were in the old Star Fox games being reintroduced. There are some characters that have been in the Star Fox universe that have never actually made their real appearances, because either they were in, shall I say, like they were in either Star Fox 2, or they just never made appearances. Like Miu, Faye, Farah, Phoenix, and Saru. Saru was supposed to be a primate in the series. Faye was like a little puppy dog, and Miu was a lynx, which I had never heard of until I was about in the 5th grade. I remember what that is, like a cat. It's like a little cat, feral cat. And now we'll get to hear Crystal's battle music, I believe, after this, so I'll let you all listen. Crystal's music is extremely dramatic, in all honesty. And while I enjoy it, I still do find that it would be much better suited for an actual ship, not a fighter pilot ship, or a fighter pilot. Actually, one thing I meant to mention with the Farah Phoenix. Farah Phoenix was an anthropomorphic. What is it? In the comic, in Star Fox comics, Fox McCloud's love interest was originally supposed to be Farah Phoenix, and she was the chief test pilot for the Crimean Army. She also bears a resemblance to Fox's mother, Vixie Renard McCloud. She first flew with the Star Fox team in a black R-wing, which was soon shot down by the attack carrier. Shortly afterwards, she flew with Fox through a black hole to reach Venom's Black Door. She was eventually knocked out of canon because of Star Fox 2's, because Star Fox 2 was, like, cancelled. Farah also appears in one of the 4 beta versions of the unreleased Star Fox 2 game for the Super Nintendo system, but along with Saru, she was removed in the final beta of the game. So you actually never get to see her in gameplay, sadly to say. Which I'm sad to see, because it would have been interesting. Oh, that's right, Falco's music went through. So yeah, I felt that the information about Saru was so great, it would outbeat even the fact of Falco's music that you only got to hear part of. Yeah. But, yeah, missile time. Other facts about the unreleased Star Fox characters, the non-canon ones, were that Faye, since she's a little puppy dog, she actually could have been replaced by Bill. Bill could have been the one that replaced her, because, the fact that, that Star Fox 2 was so much like 64 was so much like Star Fox 2, that Star Fox 64 is, some people speculate that Bill was Faye's replacement. Some fans also speculate that Faye is actually General Pepper's niece, because they're both dogs. Miyu the Lynx, both of them, well, Miyu and Faye both used, 2 different types of R-Wings that were faster than, that were faster than all the other R-Wings. The Star Wolf team actually made their first appearance in Star Fox 2, which is interesting to think about, but yeah, Faye and Miyu both used faster R-Wings, and they're called the Interceptor, and which lacks the hull armor compared to the other R-Wing models. However, an upgrade found later in the game could make up for this loss of defense. There was never any official artwork for her released. Neither of them. However, if you look on the R-Wingpedia, you can see some of their animations when they're in the ships, talking to the other pilots. I never actually knew until I started researching for Star Fox Command that the Star Wolf team was actually a part of Star Fox 2. I never knew that they had made their original release on that game. I still haven't actually gotten to play Star Fox 2 yet, and, what? No, I'm not gonna say that. I actually have a ROM of what is the completed game, but I just never got to really playing it and, actually trying to get into it. I find this interesting that that Fox is actually caring about whether or not Wolf lives. I guess even though they're rivals, you can't really hate your enemy like that.